Imagine a world without Coca-Cola. It's just a soda, right? But what if I told you that losing it could impact not just your fridge, but the whole global economy and even parts of pop culture? Get ready for a scenario that will change the way you think about global brands. Today, we will analyze how Coca-Cola disappearing would be a huge deal around the world. Ready to be shocked? Let's begin. Coca-Cola is more than just a drink. It's more than a taste. It's a way of life, a symbol, a part of everyday life for billions. Every day, more than 2 billion servings of Coca-Cola branded beverages are consumed around the world. The company has more than 180 bottling plants in 39 countries. It spends $4 billion a year on marketing. It sponsors the Olympics, the World Cup, and university scholarships. Coca-Cola is in movies, on t-shirts, and in your refrigerator. Now imagine all that disappearing. Let's start with how this will hit the global economy. The first and most obvious hit is mass unemployment. Coca-Cola and its 200 or so bottling partners directly employ more than 700,000 people. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Taking into account the entire supply chain, we're talking about tens of millions of jobs worldwide. The company's disappearance would cause unemployment in more than 200 countries, leaving entire families without a livelihood. Then there's the disruption of global supply chains. Annual purchases in the USA alone total about $28 billion. And that money goes to thousands of small businesses. In 2022 alone, Coca-Cola and 64 independent bottling plants contributed about $58 billion to the economy. Imagine logistics companies, glass, plastic, aluminum container manufacturers, sugar and corn industry giants, flavor suppliers, all of them will instantly lose their largest customer. These aren't just layoffs. They're the potential destruction of thousands of businesses. Their collapse will lead to a wave of bankruptcies and restructurings, worsening the economic crisis at the local level. The impact on stock markets will be immediate and catastrophic. Coca-Cola is not just a big company, it is also a component of the S&P 500 and Dow Jones indexes. Coca-Cola pays out more than $8 billion in dividends annually. Its disappearance would spark panic, collapse share prices, and cause multi-billion-dollar losses for millions of shareholders. It's not just numbers on a screen. For many, these losses would mean lost savings, pensions, and financial security. A giant vacuum is being created in the consumer market. The global soft drinks market, valued at $1 trillion, will lose 30% of its share. Key brands such as Sprite, Fanta, Costa Coffee, Minute Maid, Powerade, Schweppes will disappear along with Coca-Cola. Millions of stores, restaurants, and cafes, for which Coca-Cola drinks are one of the main sources of revenue, will face significant financial difficulties. What about ecology? Paradoxically, despite being one of the largest plastic polluters, Coca-Cola is also vocal about its efforts to reduce its environmental impact. The company plans to use up to 40% recycled materials in its packaging by 2035. Almost all of the company's product packaging is designed for recycling. It sounds ironic, but without Coca-Cola, many waste recycling efforts in developing nations could slow down and pollution might actually get worse. Global sports and entertainment will also suffer. Coca-Cola is one of the largest sponsors of the Olympic Games, the World Cup, and many cultural events. Without Coca-Cola, many iconic gatherings could lose major funding, and that could change everything. And finally, the advertising industry. Coca-Cola spends about $4 billion on marketing every year, and fuels a worldwide creative economy. Thousands of agencies, designers, writers, and content creators rely on its advertising engine. The collapse of such a giant would lead to serious upheavals in the global advertising industry. And without Coca-Cola, the world would lose more than just a drink. Thousands of social and charitable initiatives would be left without vital support. Since 1984, the Coca-Cola Foundation has invested over $1.5 billion to fund education, clean water, and climate resilience across Africa, Latin America, and Asia. All of it could disappear. Thousands of students will lose support from the programs. Projects like 5x20, which aims to support 6 million women entrepreneurs, will disappear. Besides this, Coca-Cola is a global symbol of the 20th century. Its disappearance is the loss of 130 years of heritage, an iconic bottle, a part of Western culture, an American way of life, a symbol of celebration and even freedom. A world without Coca-Cola is a world where every corner of the planet would feel the change. How would you feel if Coca-Cola disappeared? Subscribe so you don't miss the next catastrophes.